Welcome back to Studio F on Fast Times Willy B. We'll be reviewing Venom as we prepare for Venom: The Last Dance. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Hit it, Russ.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Kris back. Kris, how we doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
It's good
So
to
we
be
finally
back
got
on
you
here.
back.
Finally.
You have been on for one episode. It was Bob Marley, One Love. We had a good time with that one. But now we're gonna dive into a trilogy. So we're gonna talk about
excited.
the first Venom, the second Venom, and then we're gonna go watch the third one and dive into that
I'm
one.
a big
as well.
Marvel fan, so
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
So Sony's Marvel-verse
yeah.
type of thing. But
Still Marvel,
in
though.
my
Marvel
opinion,
Comics.
it's some of the best we've gotten from the Sony Marvel-verse is these Venom movies.
I mean, compared to like Morbius and some of the other stuff, yes.
So, but today we'll be reviewing the first Venom. Came out in October of 2018, so now 6 years old. We've got Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brock. Love that guy.
Oh, he does an amazing job. I mean, I can't even see anybody else playing Venom now at this point.
Yeah,
like he's
for sure.
He's Venom.
We got Michelle Williams from Halloween H2O fame and from The Fabelmans fame and many more fame. We've got Riz Ahmed as our big bad playing Carlton Drake / Riot. We've got Jenny Slate playing Doris, I think her name is.
Doris is the girl that works for Carlton Drake that goes
kind
and
of
talks
leaks
to him.
things, yeah.
Gets it all started.
We'll start with the good, and I think this was a fun origin story for Venom. You know, we've gotten Venom a few times in some Spidey films. I have a little so feel on how I feel about. There's elements I like about the Spider-Man 3 Raimi Venom, and there's just parts
Topher
where
Grace
I don't.
is Venom. Yeah, it's not very good. I don't know.
Yeah, so we get Tom Hardy here, and I love Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock.
I mean, I just love Tom Hardy in general. He's
yeah.
top actor. Like
Yeah.
everything he's in, I love.
We saw him in The Bike Riders.
He's just
fantastic.
He's just a great actor.
And once again, I think this was a great casting. You know, they're talking about how this is his last run with The Last Dance, and that kind of bums me out that we didn't get him with a Spider-Man movie. So
we'll see.
I'm holding out and hope.
Secret Wars or something.
Yeah,
You know,
something.
they'll throw him in the MCU.
There's gotta be something.
They already teased us a little bit
Yeah.
with the post-credit scene. They put him in there just for like one scene, and
Yeah.
they like teased us a little bit. But like he's coming. I don't know. This isn't his last one. I don't believe that.
We can only hope. But this first one we get with him, I think, was a great start. I think it's a very funny movie. I think it has good action. I like the look of Venom a lot in this film. Just that big hulking look
He's
almost.
just badass. Like there's no other way to put it.
That's the big difference between this one and Spider-Man 3 is that Spider-Man 3 is Venom is almost the same size as Spider-Man.
It's the Spider-Man suit but black.
With teeth.
Yeah, it's pretty whack.
Yeah. This one we get that big hulking what you want from Venom.
The Venom in the comics is what that's how he's supposed to look. He's supposed to be terrifying,
slimy.
Like,
the tongue is just dripping.
Yeah. He's supposed to be a little scary. Like that's
I like the look a lot. I think the effects are good. I like the look of the symbiotes a lot too. Like when they're in there, like
when they're like
symbiotic
sliming through
form.
on the ground and like going to each form and like
and how they're different colors based on which one it is.
Yeah.
I like the look of that a lot. I love the cutaway scenes we get as Riot is trying to make his way.
Oh, and he goes through
America.
like each different body.
Yeah. I like that. That's a fun path that we get to follow with Riot until he finds Carlton Drake. But like I said, it's just a good origin story. It's not super high stakes with anything else. It's Venom on his own, and I like that. You know, we get a lot of different things going on as Eddie's trying to balance his relationship with Anne, played by Michelle Williams. She's upset when he, uses her confidential work to get more information, which leads to, their separation, but he's still trying to balance that. And then he gets the information from Doris and he goes and checks out the Life Foundation, what they're doing. And that's where he gets Venom attached to him and all of this stuff. It's just a wild ride, but Eddie Brock is trying to balance all of these different things. And I like the characters in this film. And I know this film doesn't get loved by everybody.
I mean,
but for me, I have a great time with this movie.
I agree. I would agree with that.
I watched it when it first came out in theaters, and I think I've seen it 4 or 5 times now, and every single time I have a blast.
It's just a fun movie. It's
yeah.
I mean, you don't. It's not to take too serious. It's just go in, have a good time. Venom, just chaos and just just.
Soon we'll be getting Kraven the Hunter, which is rated R. I kind of if I'm going to change one thing, it would be cool if
I was literally going to say that I wish they were rated R because some of the kills, not so much in the first one, more in the second one. We'll get into that, but like some of the kills, like it feels like it needs to be more bloody and more gory. It's like it's like they took it off of the when they were writing it. They're like they had to take some of it away and make it less gruesome. And I'm like, oh, I just want that more gruesomeness from Venom. Like he's Venom, like he's like an anti-hero. He's like. He's supposed to just rip stuff. Like, I don't know. They definitely should be rated R. For
sure. But the comedy's really good. I love the relationship we get between Venom and Eddie Brock as well. With them kind of butting heads at first, and then as they get more used to each other, they kind of bounce off each other.
It's almost like a buddy cop movie, but with like a guy and a symbiote. Like,
it really is. Like,
it
really is.
Like, it's that vibe.
It's the... You can't eat people's heads unless I say so. Like it's so funny. The ending is funny too with Mrs. Chen and the guy trying to rob her. What a great
character!
She's awesome. She's fantastic.
Every time she's on the scene, I'm just cracking up. Like
yeah. She's a part of the comedic dialogue that you love in this film. But and then I mean the final showdown we get to I think is really good. I love the Venom versus Riot fight on like the kind of takeoff area for this rocket ship that Carlton Drake has agreed to go with Riot to bring back more symbiotes.
How they burn him. I mean that's the only way to kill him is either noise or fire. So it's very cool.
But it's a final fight that has a lot of payoff. You get a good length fight.
Riot is a good first villain for Venom.
Yeah. For sure. I liked Riz Ahmed a lot as Carlton Drake.
Yeah.
Really, all of the casting I liked a lot. I loved Michelle Williams, Jenny Slate in a very supporting role, but I always like her in anything she's in. She was Doris. There's really no complaints from me in the acting department. I think every character kind of fit with who was chosen to represent them.
I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like we said, it's just a good time. It's one of those comic book movies where you can just like kind of shut your brain off and just have fun.
Yeah, because a lot of comic book movies nowadays, especially with the MCU, it's like you got to watch 30 movies to like
it requires so much.
And it's like you literally got to watch a show and like I love that obviously, but that's not for everybody. So this is a movie like even if you're not the diehard comic book fan, you can just go see and have a good time at the theater, or at home or wherever you watch. It's just a good time.
Yeah, that's I guess the beauty of the Sony Marvel movies. If you're going to take away anything, is that none of them have continuity, so it's like you can have a good time.
You don't have to watch Morbius and Kraven and whatever other movies they're coming out with to watch Venom. You can just watch Venom as a standalone movie.
It's morbid time.
It's a good time.
Yeah. But one of my favorite scenes in this movie is the scene where they take over that motorcycle and they have the chase scene.
Oh yeah.
Venom is basically doing tricks. He's
just having a blast on the bike.
It's so fun.
I love when he turns into Anne when he it's like Lady Venom. Oh my god, that's so sick. And they kiss
to transition it back over.
It's so sick. Yeah,
I like the scene too where it's like in that building with all the lights off and it's like fogged, and you can just see like the lights of the guns, the aim.
That's kind of like. Though, kind of one of those scenes I was saying, though, like if it was rated R, they probably could have showed more.
Yeah. The fog was definitely the takeaway from the gore.
That's why I feel like they originally had it more gory, and they're like, maybe let's add some fog.
Yeah, probably.
It's still cool, though.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing I like about this movie is the adaptation to the times as well, because obviously in the comics and in the original Spider-Man, Eddie Brock is a journalist. And he writes for the Daily Bugle / takes photos for. This one's cool because he's almost like that, vodcast.
Yeah.
He's doing the video reporting, almost
it's
like
more
what
of
we're
this
doing
day
here
and age,
right now, And I think that's
because
cool
nobody's
touch.
reading the paper anymore.
Yeah.
Besides maybe my grandpa, nobody's
San Francisco
reading
Chronicle.
Nobody's reading that, so the word wouldn't spread very fast if he was just writing in the paper still.
Yeah.
So
it's cool how they adapted that. The Life Foundation lore we get's really good too. I I think how they interjected all of that too, with obviously Anne working there, and then him kind of infiltrating to get that interview behind her back, and then also like seeing the trials that they're putting together while he breaks in. I thought all of the Life Foundation stuff was cool. Which, by the way, that's another good scene too when he infiltrates and he's
at the very the beginning when he's with
Doris, and he sees Maria, I think her name was.
Yeah, the homeless. Yeah, that I mean that's pretty sad.
It was, but that scene's insane because like it almost shows the horror side of it.
It shows how messed up the Life Foundation and Drake and like how like they're bad people.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that's what you want from a bad guy. You want them to be bad people. I don't want to have empathy for whatever word, you know,
it,
for the
it
bad
adds
guy.
to the stakes on if in that final fight it makes it easier to root against him when you see like what he's doing.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. Like he does such a good job at that like rich douchebag vibes.
Yeah.
Like it's just
anything else in the good for you?
I'll just say, like I said, the action, the comedy. I love the any time there's comedy with like the superheroes, like Deadpool is like the same way. It's just fun.
Yeah,
I would, and the special effects, like you said, he just looks cool. Every scene, it doesn't look fake. It doesn't look corny. Like he just looks badass.
Yeah.
So
I like the scene where he sends like goons to Eddie
to his apartment. And
it's their first time like trying to acclimate to each other.
I love his apartment too. Like it's just so like you can just tell he's down bad. Like
it's shitty.
It's so good. Like
you have the beginning when him and Anne have that nice place together, and then he goes from that to like the slums of San Francisco. Like living it up. Yeah, not good. But there's a lot of this movie that falls in this good category for me. I think
it's a solid movie.
I think it's underrated,
especially a superhero movie. Like it's a anti-hero, whatever. But it's a comic book movie. It's good.
So we can hop to the meh. What really stuck out to you in the meh? Not being rated R.
No, I was gonna say it should be rated R. Should have more gruesome kills.
Yeah,
that's honestly my main thing.
Yeah, I think that just takes away from both these Venom movies that we've already gotten off the rip.
If it was rated R, they could say whatever they want. Like Venom could be more vulgar, and that would just probably be more fun. He could like the kills would be cooler, more gruesome. Like,
it's just when you get a comic like this where it fits. Like I don't need rated R in every superhero movie, obviously, but like another one that pops in my head that like if that movie was rated R, it would have been even better. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And that's both of these Venom movies fall into that category.
It would be like if they tried to make Deadpool PG-13. Like it would be like it's still good, like it's still Deadpool, but like
Deadpool PG-13 might be a train wreck.
It would just see. I don't know. It would just be so much better if it was rated R.
Sure.
They could do more. They would have. I feel like it would give the writers more to play with. Like it still would have done good. I still think it still would have been a box office success if it was rated R. I mean, look at Deadpool. I mean, I think all three have done over $1 billion, or at least close to it.
Yeah, all three have been very, very successful.
So
have brought in.
So that shows that you can make a rated R comic book movie and people are still going to go see it.
Yeah.
So
well,
and now they're learning. They're making Craven rated R. They're like, all right.
The first Joker, also another rated R comic book movie that did really, really well. We won't talk about the second one, but But yeah, I mean, rated R is the big meh for me too. I don't have anything in the bad for this movie. This was a movie I enjoyed quite a bit.
I don't really think I have anything for the bad for this one.
For the meh though, it is mainly just the fact that it's not rated R. Because I mean, they have all the things I want. Like the MRI machine's a cool way to show that, like the sound is not a no good.
When they use that and he sucks venom out of the that is a cool scene.
But this was a movie when I left the theaters, I was like, man, like I'm really satisfied. I don't think it's
And the post credit scene, like it sets it up for the second one, obviously with Carnage, which is like one of the coolest ones. Like, I mean, that's Venom's main like enemy, like in the comics, like it gets you hype. Yeah.
But like realistically, it checked a lot of the boxes I wanted from a Venom movie, and so it really doesn't have a lot that I gripe on with this film. No, I don't think it's a top tier comic book movie by any means, but it's still, like you said, it's a good time, and
it's not perfect, but it's good.
Yeah.
You leave the theater, you're like, that was a good time. That was worth my $10 or whatever. Like that was. It was just a fun time.
Yeah. So we'll hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with Venom 2018? What do you give it out of 10?
I've been trying to think about this all day because I'm like I wanted to I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5. It's really good, but like if it was rated R, I think it could maybe jump up to that 9.5, even 10 range. Like it's that good. Like I really liked it, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
I'm glad you went in the 8s because I always feel like whenever I say I give this movie an 8 out of 10, people are like, "You're insane." And so to hear somebody else giving it in the 8s makes me feel good because I think this is an 8 out of 10 movie. Yeah. I think it's great for what it is. Doesn't take it checks, like I said, it checks the boxes I want from a Venom movie. I think Tom Hardy's fantastic. I love Michelle Williams. I love Riz Ahmed in this film. There's not much I can find. If it was rated R, it'd probably be a 9 or a 10.
I really think so. So I don't know why the critics and they get so many bad reviews, and I'm like, I was reading them today, and I'm like, why? Like it's good.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's fun when you get those reviews.
People
that you
sometimes
instead of agreeing.
You just can't take it too serious. You just go in and it's just Eddie Brock and Venom just going on an adventure pretty much. Like it's just a fun time.
I mean, it obviously did enough to get 3 movies. So.
Yeah.
Middle finger to the critics there, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that the third one's not out yet, but the second one did pretty good too. I know this one did over 800 million, so
yeah,
that's not bad for.
It's doing its thing. That'll do it for the original Venom. We'll be back with Venom: Let There Be Carnage, and then obviously rounding things out. But Kris, thank you for coming on for this one.
Having me.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. We will talk to you all very soon. Peace.